Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Christian back here with my first video in a while. I didn't upload anything last week because I was sick all week, basically. That's why you didn't have a podcast or a bracketology video until today. I was sick pretty much all week last week, but I'm back now. This is going to be my 2 weeks away one. This is the one Joe Lenardi put up on. Let's think about this. It was this morning. He put this one up this morning. So it's a little outdated, but not much. So I just watched Baylor beat Texas Tech in a pretty good game in overtime. So yeah, that was fun and entertaining. So first thing we'll do is we'll look at the one seeds. I think this one line's the clearest it's been in a long time. Number one Kansas, number two Baylor, number three Gonzaga, and number four San Diego State. I think even in 2 weeks, these four number one seeds aren't going to change at all. Now 2 through 4, those lines, obviously a lot of shuffling could happen, but I think the one line's set in stone. Now we'll look at the last four in, which is Cincinnati, Stanford, Wichita State, and Utah State. So Cincinnati, a team Tennessee played, so I know at least a little bit about them. Wichita State's always in contention, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. One team I'm interested to see about is ETSU. You'll see them down here. If they don't win the Southern Conference tournament, or the SoCon tournament, I guess it's still the same thing, but I don't know. If they don't win that, will they get an at-large bid? And if they do get an at-large bid, will it be in the first four? I'm really interested to see that if that happens. Hopefully it doesn't happen, though, because honestly, if we're being real here, Tennessee's probably not going to make the NCAA tournament. So ETSU is probably going to be in my team this March. So hopefully they make the tournament with the auto bid, and I don't have to worry about that. I had to take a drink. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and look at my first round upsets or any double-digit seeds that I'm making a deep run. Don't really have any here except Indiana in the Midwest. I really wanted to pull we'll just go region by region, my bad. Really kind of wanted to pull the trigger there on Belmont over Louisville just because it was a bracket for fun, and I live 45 minutes away from Nashville. Kind of wanted to pull the trigger there, but I decided to be normal and just pick Louisville. I like Penn State a lot. I think they're a team that could potentially make a pretty deep run. Obviously, Seton Hall, Miles Powell's going to lead that team to some great heights. I probably would have picked, if they would have played anyone but Kansas here in this Elite Eight matchup, I probably would have picked them to the Final Four. Like last week's bracket, if I remember correctly, this was my national championship game, was Kansas Seton Hall. This week it just happens to end up being the Elite Eight, and I picked Kansas again. Kansas is the best team in the nation right now, and I don't think there's any doubt. So let's go to the South region. One thing you guys will end up seeing is interesting. I have a 1 seed, a 2 seed, a 3 seed, and a 4 seed in the Final Four. Just kind of think that's interesting. But anyway, this is kind of my wacky region. Baylor's kind of a question mark right now, so I decided to make this my wacky region. Yale over Wisconsin in the first round. I think that's Yale's a team that's made some noise in the tournament before, and Wisconsin's kind of a team that's tough to figure out, so it wouldn't surprise me. Let's see here. Not really any other first round upsets in that region. Not really any upsets, period, until we get to the Sweet 16. I have Oregon over Baylor. I really like Oregon, obviously, and I have them over Maryland there. As you can see, I really like Oregon. I just think that they're pretty hot right now. And, obviously March is about getting hot at the right time, and I think Oregon is getting hot at the right time. So I've got Oregon in the Final Four, actually, out of this region. Moving on to the West. This one, basically no first-round upsets for me in this region. Texas Tech over Gonzaga. I was tempted to pull the trigger there, as I was tempted to pull the trigger on Creighton over Gonzaga. But I just decided to go Gonzaga both times there just because I think Gonzaga is a little bit better than both those teams. And obviously they're more skilled. I don't know what I was going with that. Anyway, Florida State's pretty good too. I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the same position I have Kentucky, but Kentucky's one of the hottest teams in the nation right now. I don't think they've lost since January, so I've got Kentucky in the Final Four out of this region as a 3 seed. And then finally, the East region. San Diego State, still a 1 seed, despite kind of being in a rocky spot right now. Let's see here. I did originally pick St. Mary's, and I changed my mind and picked Xavier there in the first round. ETSU over Michigan State, or not over Michigan, over Michigan. I'm probably going to pick ETSU at least in the first round, no matter who they play, and depending upon who they play in the Sweet 16 or in the second round. As far as the way the bracket is, I'm probably going to pick them to advance to the Sweet 16. Oklahoma over Butler. I just decided to pull the trigger there on the 10 over the 7. And then, I really wanted to go for it there with ETSU over Duke, but I just don't see it. This is a pretty stacked region, honestly. Got a lot of good teams. San Diego State, obviously. Dayton, Duke, ETSU, Auburn, Michigan State. Stephen F. Austin's a good team. Not necessarily a lot of good teams, a lot of good teams and teams that can make a run. I've got Michigan State over San Diego State there in the 4-1 upset in the Sweet 16. I've got Dayton over Duke in the Sweet 16. And then I've got Dayton over Michigan State in the Elite Eight, moving on to the Final Four. So my Final Four, Kansas versus Dayton, Oregon versus Kentucky. I've got Kansas over Dayton. I just think Kansas is a little better than Dayton. And then Kentucky over Oregon. I think that would be a really fun game to watch. And then National Championship of Blue Bloods between Kansas and Kentucky. Again, another game that would be really fun to watch. I would have Kansas winning it all in this version of the bracket if this is what it was 2 weeks from now. I guess a little less than 2 weeks now. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked it, leave a comment and like it. Subscribe, and probably a podcast coming up later this week. I'm not 100% sure though, but I'm trying to get some more videos out here. It's just been busy lately, and not football season, and Tennessee not being good. It's not really made me want to, but I'll try to get some more out soon. Talk to you guys later, and peace.